So let's start. Welcome to the stream for everyone who will maybe watch the stream after I streamed it. So let's see. What are the plans today? What have I done off camera when I had half an hour to continue work on it? First, today I just fixed the last few things for the 1.5.1 version, so I can update the 1.5 version. Took me about an hour just to get everything work correctly. And I also had to finish a few more textures for the resource pack. Yeah, now it's done. So in the end, or at the end of the last stream, we left the keep at this point. So there was a very large red wool box around it, which is the second structure, which could be, and could is the important word, replaced by vanilla generated blocks. So if this structure will generate into the world, it will cut into the mountains or whatever blocks are near the castle, and the blocks which were red in the last stream will be replaced by the original blocks which would be there if the castle would spawn. And so it would form a rather natural integration into the world. Yeah, off camera, because there is a lot of coding behind it and checking if it really works as intended. Yeah, as I said, I did it offline because it's not very important and not very interesting to see this. But as you see, these invisible blocks, these are the structure blocks, and they are already saved as part of this whole structure. There are still a few things I want to do, or I have to do, to finish this project, and these are the whole loot system. So there are a few pots and chests and barrels in this structure, and I have to implement loot in them. So if you open them now, they shouldn't, I'm not sure, yeah, they are empty. But if I create a chest with a loot table or connected to a loot table, they will actively or actually drop loot or generate loot. Yeah, I'm just checking if my microphone is working, because it seems that it's not at the moment. I don't know. On my phone it looks like that it's working. But yeah, so that is the first thing I have to do, but I'm not doing it today because I'm not very motivated to do it today. So there's another thing. There are a few leftover blocks in here, which are, as I see now, invisible. There should be somewhere here. Yeah, that's one block. First block, and then another which should be here, yeah. These blocks will be replaced by trial spawners, so if you come into these dungeons, and as I said last time, this is the beginner dungeon to learn the data pack and to get into the data pack, so there will be relatively easy enemies and spawners with a small amount of enemies at the same time. Down here will be the boss arena for the level 1 boss or tier 1 boss. I haven't decided yet which boss it will be. It will be a new one, so none of the two level 1 bosses you can encounter at Edinburgh Fair. But this one will be probably a fun one. I don't know. I'll see what I'll come up with. Yeah, the next thing is down here, the hidden cave for Alaric. Some of you may know that he has a few hidden spaces in the old structure where you can read his diary and learn a few things about the Nether and the mystical horses. So this is, I wouldn't call it lair, but it is his new hidden space where he can experiment and whatever. And there's the entrance to the Nether. It's broken on purpose so that the player can't visit the Nether just by coming to Darwood Keep. But yeah, also here are a few chests I have to fill with loot, but that's a topic for another day. What I'm planning on doing today is working on the second feature I want to do in 1.6, and that's biome variants of various small structures. I have done a lot in around Christmas when I had to do a lot of coding to update the data pack for the newest version of Minecraft, and I wasn't motivated every day, so sometimes I just started to build things, which is way more fun than just coding. And yeah, today I'm going to work on these smaller structures. In the last update, so 1.5, you can encounter the gypsy traders, which sell partially overpriced stuff. These guys. Now it's rogue merchant, but I've already changed it, so should be okay now. Okay. Yeah, that's the gypsy. So before I've updated the data pack, I've spawned them and haven't deleted them yet. There are always a few small bugs you encounter when exploring or explaining things to other people. Like a few friends of mine wanted me to know a little bit more of what I'm doing in my whole time when I'm not together with them and playing with them, so I've told them what I'm doing. So the small structures are mainly structures for the merchants, for small loot, and for the arcane nodes. These are the original 5 structures for the arcane nodes, which you can encounter in the cloud generation. And I've multiplied them to, let me think, I think these are is a 6x6 roster. Yeah, so 36 structures. Like in the old structure of that I would keep, or in the last stream, I've used red blocks, and here I've used glass blocks because I don't want the grass to turn to earth, dirt. And I already finished, or nearly finished, the whole temperate biome, so maybe you see that there is a lot of green, a lot of lush atmosphere in here, because it's a temperate climate where they will spawn, like forest, birch forest, plains, and whatever they all call. And also there are a few structures for the traders now, which are these 6 structures, and they will spawn with the wagon and the horse, and they now have a larger structure underneath. So if the structure, for example, generates into a mountain or a cliffside or near a river, it usually will have a point where it's just cut and float into the air. And now I've created a whole structure underneath, so it will smoothly generate into the world and will look much better. Also, I've improved some structures and made them all fit to their biome they will spawn in. Yeah. Also, I've added a few structures which will spawn on the ground with a hole breaking through the surface. And there you will also find loot, various spawners with enemies, hard or easy enemies. Arcane nodes could spawn there, and you can also at some, but I'm still planning on how I want to implement them. At some you can encounter level 1 bosses you can fight, but you don't have to. But I'm still working on it. I've played a lot of Elden Ring when it released a few years ago, and I always liked the situation when you come near a structure and you are thinking about, yeah, what loot is there, what can I find there, what lore is there, and then you get this music and you know, okay, something's not correct right now, and then you see a completely red person run towards you, and you have to beat him or you will die, because he will follow you for nearly forever. And I'm intending to do a similar thing here, where the boss is pre-spawned, so if you come near the structure he's already there waiting for you, not like in arena where you have to go close to a spawner, to this mist in the middle. So it's a little bit more efficient for the CPU. You don't have to check every time if there is an armor stand which has the boss tag on it near you. Yeah, then we come to the cold biome variants. I think I've already finished all of them. Yeah, it looks like I've already finished them. These are, except of a few ones, I think 3 or 4 of these 36, are the same structure but just turned into a variant which would fit into a cold biome. So if you can counter it in the nature, it looks way better. And also I've changed for some structures the materials which are used. I'm gonna show you on this example, which is an altar, something like that, which holds an arcane node in the middle. Here you see the bushes, a lot of snow, and it's just that cold, darker colors of the stone. Fits perfectly into cold biomes. But if the structure will spawn in the temperate biome, it will be lush, more green, warmer colors of the material it's built of, and so on. Yeah, that's the basic idea of what I'm doing here. Also, it's possible for some structures, as soon as they were spawned in the world, that the vanilla flora, yeah, the plants, that the game spawns grass and trees, bushes, whatever, depends on the biome you're in, on the structure, if there is a block like grass or dirt, which the game can spawn a tree on. So this could change while generating. Or here I've used a lot of tough blocks, tough variants. I really like a lot in this version. So I'm happy that they've added it. And if you go into the cold biome version, you see that I've used deep slate because it's way more fitting for the cold biome. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today, or trying or intending to do today with desert biomes, so, or hot biomes, that these structures will fit into desert biomes or hot biomes, hot climates. I also finished a few, not since I made the plan to make biome variants. In the beginning I had 36 structures and all structures could spawn everywhere, but now afterwards I've decided that I want a lot of small structures with encounters and loot and whatever in a fitting variant for that biome. And here you see that I've used a lot of diorite for it, for example. I also made structures, maybe you saw it in the changelog. I've added infinite furnaces. You can craft them, but you can also find them through looting in these structures in the future. So these furnaces are just normal furnaces or blast furnace or smokers, but they will burn for about 1000 hours, 2000 hours, can't remember anymore what time I've put in it, but it's the maximum burn time you get via commands for a cauldron, for a furnace. And this will, it will never burn out, no matter how long you play the game, because I'm sure most players which play my data pack will never play about 3000 or more hours in the world. And also this chunk with the cauldron will always have to be loaded so it burns down in time. Yeah, as I said, you can also craft them. That's the recipe for it. It's not cheap, but you have to think about it that you use this cauldron, you place it once and you have it for nearly forever, as long as you're playing this well. But yeah, the first thing I want to do is just get all leftover structures. You see these aren't finished yet. From this side to this side, and then start turning them all into sand variants. I guess it would be better if I use the cold biome variants, because snow is way more easy to replace with air than 10 types of plants. Like here, so there's one command to remove all the snow. There I would have about 10 commands or more, or do it all by hand, and I don't want to do it by hand. Also, yesterday was the day that Mojang released the newest version, so 1.21.5, and they already have the dried grass variant of grass as part of the new update. So actually I'm thinking about updating the data pack to 1.21.5 before releasing, because then I would make usage of all the new blocks and grass types, and which would fit perfectly into these variants for deserts and hot biomes. Yeah, let's see. So this one is okay. I don't want to change it. This one too, but the interior isn't fitting to hot biomes. It's rather temperate, Viking style or cold biomes. It's okay, but I will have to change this. And I think it would be best to just mark what I want to redo 100%. and which I want to redo just the material I'm using or just removing the snow, so it looks better in the end. But these two types are okay. These three types have to be replaced by the other ones, because I don't want to manually replace all plant types from the structure. Would be way too much work for what I get in the end. Oh, hello. Welcome to the stream. So now I'm just going to copy it, paste it on the next tab, in the next square of structures. And I have to do it for all structures to fill this square with the updated versions. So, paste. Just to see what I mean, what I said before, when I mark this whole area of these 6 structures, I just have to remove the snow. And then I can start to replace dirt blocks, grass blocks, things like that, and the stone blocks with sandstone and sand, and it would very fast look like a desert variant of that structure. So replace sand 0, oh, not sand, snow. Snow, yes. Then replace stone with sandstone. And then we will replace dirt and grass blocks with sand. Yeah. Now the only thing left is the material of the structure, and that's a little bit of tedious work, but it won't be that much work than building a whole new structure with it. So that's the plan for today for all structures here. I don't know how far I've come, how long I'm motivated to do it before going to bed again. So let's continue. I think I'll take the whole row for here and also the second row for here. Also, today I tried to use Skyrim music to get a medieval theme or medieval vibe for the stream, but I don't know if it's copyright claimed right now. For my trailers I used Skyrim music, but I've never got a claim from Bethesda or anyone on the videos, so I think it's copyright free. But we will see in the future. So if you watch the stream after today, you will also hear what I'm saying if I'm explaining what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm not sure what I do, but maybe in another stream just using Minecraft music, which can't be claimed by anyone, because it's the game I'm playing right now, and stick to this vibe. structures. Yeah, okay. Mm. I forgot that I've used a lot of floating sand, dirt blocks here in this structure. I have to fix it. Before I replace the dirt blocks with sand. Otherwise it will just fall. And I think I'll just take yellow wool just to make them stable in the air, and maybe replace them with sandstone blocks when I'm working with the structure, when I'm building the version for deserts. As you can see, I've spent a lot of time working on the smaller structures. It's a thing I always wanted to do for the data pack, making more smaller structures and not just the large dungeons, to get a more immersive world for the player to explore. I think that's it. The other structures should be fine. And right now I'm quite happy with the variants I have. Stone sensor, yeah. Now it's not falling down. And these are... Did they fall down? Yeah. They fell down. Never mind. So these two structures are the original structures for the desert. I'm not sure if I should replace them. Let's see. There's nothing underneath. There's the spider cave. Is this an updated version from this? Yeah, okay. So it's nearly the same, but in the desert you have this black stone obelisk, which wouldn't fit in a cold biome. And the third structure are these lush caves with a small living area of some sort. And it's not here, so I just need 4 structures of this line. I also left some holes in the walls when I used larger structures. They will be mostly hidden or hidden beneath the surface, because the surface level will be this block or one block here. So this entrance will only be visible from the outside if the whole structure spawns into a mountain, a cliffside or something like that. Then theoretically you can enter the structures through this entrance. So where have I been? On the left side, I guess. Did it work? Yeah, it worked. So the next structure is this oasis. I'm honestly not very happy with it. I did it a very long time ago, but I've replaced it with this campsite and this dog statue with a grave on it. Yeah, I think I'll take the whole row and just copy and paste it here. No, no, not the whole row, just the first and the last three structures. Dog in the desert. No. Would it fit? No. I think that's better. So just first. And now the three campsites of the traders. That wasn't exactly what I wanted. Yeah. Why do I have the same here and here? What have I done? Oh, I've copied the wrong row. Could happen. Yeah, oh, it's correct. And the last row, I think that this structure is okay the way it is right now. I could improve it a little bit, but for the most part, I'm happy with it. That's actually the original structure, and the other versions are changed for the temperate and cold biomes. So they look like that now. Much colder, snow around it. Or in the lush area, lush biomes. A lot of green and plants. But the base structure stayed the same. I think that this one's also good. Maybe I'll have to refine it a little bit to get a little bit more It's not fancy enough. I don't know. I feel like it. But the structure is okay. Not gonna replace the whole thing. And the last three again. Yeah, here I've added a lot of cobwebs. I need more sand, and I honestly don't know what this should be and why it's here. Yeah, that wasn't on purpose. It's so sad that we don't have sand layers, like snow layers. They would be so pretty for building. Maybe one day when they are doing a desert update, they add sand layers. I would love it. I would love it so much. So, let's copy these last three structures. Then we can convert everything to what we need. God damn it. I forgot where I stood. Yeah, on this block. So now last thing. I've marked the old versions to show me on the first look what they hold. So if they hold an arcane node, if they hold loot, spawners and whatever, or if they hold the infinite furnaces. I need the same for the last structures, because they will be the exact same dungeons. So that's it, okay. And now we just have to replace all unfitting blocks, building materials, with desert materials. Until now I'm not really sure how I handle the savanna, if I can use these structures in savanna or rather use the lush variants, because their grass color or plant color will turn into a more grayish, more dry color. Double check if there are any floating dirt blocks, but I don't think so. No. Yeah, looks way better at first glance. for example, here is a woodcutter camp, a small one, and that doesn't make that much sense in the desert, so I'll have to completely change it. Let's take green wool and think of something that fits better into this place. There are structures for the traders which will be or are near fields of crops. That's not a big issue because I can just use desert crops to replace it, or just dry crops, so it's a burn field, something like that. The campsite just have to switch their material type. Same. This temple doesn't look that much like a desert temple, so I think I'll have to change this too. Material. Yeah, I've marked it in the first time, but it was replaced by air. This whole structure will be turned into a desert variant. I don't think that I have to change the whole structure. It would fit into a desert. A grave, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, a gigantic tree stump isn't what you'll usually find in a desert, so this one will have to go. Material, also material. Maybe I can make a small tree here with an oasis around it. So there could be a few places with water. The tree doesn't look like a tree which could grow in the desert. It should be smaller and flatter, I would say. That's a grave. Maybe I'm gonna remove the tree. Yeah, in this temple also changing the materials and get a little bit of desert style into it. Props. That's a tree stump, I know, and I think I'm gonna change it to just a stone circle and a white tent for nomads which settled here for a while. Yeah, and other material at the bottom. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's start the corner. The question is, what block type would fit into this room underneath the sand? Mud? Maybe red sandstone. That could be interesting. A combination of both? No, wouldn't look that good. Diorite. Maybe diorite in the background. mud in the front. They are not harmonic. I don't like that. If I use red sandstone, then I would need a fitting background color. Maybe natural stone. And in the front, that orange-red block. Let's just take this corner. I'm going to undo this so I can do it afterwards. I can do it afterwards. That's just stone, so the cut red sandstone wouldn't look that good. It's just the fact that there is no stair variant of that, but the brick variant, so the normal red sandstone, could work. No, that's horrible. I don't like it at all. But maybe sandstone in the back and stone bricks in the front. Red sandstone. Let's try it on this side. Try it on this side. Positive effect would be that we could use way more blocks. No, that's also a bad idea. Sandstone? No. Maybe polished sandstone. Or is it cut? I think it's cut sandstone, yeah. No, no, it's polished. Where is it? Smooth. Really? A mix of both? Yeah, that looks better. What did I use in this structure? Just sandstone? Yeah, it's okay. But the thing is that in this structure, it's okay. It looks better because in the middle are these cobbled sandstone blocks, which make a perfect contrast to the smooth on the outside. But here they are directly on the side of each other, and this won't work that well. So I'll go with that. Replace tough bricks with stone bricks. Then chiseled stuff. Chiseled tough with chiseled stone bricks. Then chiseled tough bricks with... that's the question. What could I use on the bottom of the wall? Is it too aggressive? It's not that bad. But I think I go with cuts and stuff. Yeah, that's better. also have to change all the spawners, so that in desert biomes they will spawn husks with equipment that fits to deserts. So no heavy plate armor, rather chain and light armor like leather. Yeah, a little bit of smooth sandstone as a small contrast. Yeah, it works. And smooth stone slabs. Yeah. So dumb. Do you want to use bricks for the roof? Yes, I'm going to use bricks. Then it's okay. Not that dumb. Just a tiny little bit. Really nostalgic when I hear the music of Skyrim in the background. I loved it back in the time when I played it. The music, the immersion when you start the game, when you launch it. The deep sounds, voices in the background. Always got me into the mood of being in the world, of being in Skyrim. Often thinking about playing it again. Maybe one day after this project is finished, which might take a very long time. Until I'm really happy with the data pack and leave it be as it is. back in 2011 when Skyrim was released. A few friends of mine started to play it. They launched parties just to come together and everyone's just joining their single player world in Skyrim. One TV standing besides the other and everyone's just playing on their own world. But really enjoying it to see what they can do, how they become, what skills they were leveling and bosses they were fighting. I always hesitated in the beginning to play the game. I just saw it and thought to myself, yeah, it looks okay, I'm not that interested in an RPG. But one day a friend just wanted me to try it, and I guess that was the day I fell in love with the game. And I played it for months. Couldn't stop. So now we have to make a sinkhole which won't have the steep sides around it, which is a little bit unlucky for the outer structure to be that near of the hole. Something like that, yeah. It's not a big deal for desert structures to generate like that. Is it too steep? I'm just gonna mark the position on the floor. Yeah. That's good, I guess. The music in the background is very peaceful, maybe a bit too peaceful. I think it's too much. Gonna change it. I think it's better. So now we're gonna replace all the blocks with correct versions. A few, not all. Replace. I'm gonna make a little sand mountain here where it broke in the ceiling. It just fell down into this dungeon room. Also, this gravel won't make that much sense. A little bit, a few, okay, but not that much. After all, these are sand blocks, so why should they drop gravel? Yeah, the vibe with this music is way better. It's just too silent if you listen to Skyrim music the whole time. Don't know, it's not fitting that good today. Ah, hi. What do you mean with add? Oh, you mean an ad for Skyrim? The sand block that you can use the brush on. I'm sorry, but I don't understand what you're meaning. So now it looks a little bit more as if the sand would have fallen down from the surface. Oh, the suspicious sand. Okay. Yeah. The thing is, I wanted to use it in... No. To be honest, no. I've never went to a buried structure just to get maybe a good loot out of these blocks. It's way too much effort for what you get in the end. But yeah, I know what you mean. I used it once but somehow if you generate the structure into the world, the suspicious sand block is just empty. You can't get anything out of it. I don't know why it is like that. Maybe they fixed it by now. I did it in 1.20, if I'm correct. Suspicious sand is functional, I guess. Maybe you have defined a loot table for this block, and you have to spawn the block via command to get a sand block which makes use of a loot table. Maybe it acts like a chest. But I can check this. You can't see it on a stream. But I'm using an online program to create a few commands. I'm not sure if they even exist, so let's try. Suspicious sand. Yeah, it makes use of a loot table. Makes usage of a loot table. I'm going to check if I can create one. Loot table, chests, coins, let's see. Yeah, okay. You have to find a loot table for this suspicious sand block to make it usable, to make it drop items. Like here oh, 11 silver coins. I used the loot table for chests and coins, and you have to do it for them. That's good to know. I never thought about it again because I wasn't sure if it would work. But now, thank you, because I want to make a few structures in the desert and also in the temperate and cold biomes to hold suspicious sand. So you can go there, and if you see them, so this gravel suspicious sand or the normal suspicious, suspicious gravel, you can get more loot out of the dungeon than just looting all the pots and the chests and barrels. Thank you. Write it down now. Just because you've joined the stream a few minutes ago, I'm going to show you what I mean with biome variants. So, for the next update, I'm planning on doing biome dependent structures. So the structure which will spawn in temperate biomes should look like a structure that fits to this place. So for temperate, for example, this room I'm working right now in for the hot biomes, mainly the desert at the moment, is this one. It's way more lush, more green, warmer. Also the materials which are used in the structure fit way better into this biome. And on the surface you have this hole into the ground. If you run through the world, you explore it, maybe you come across this hole and you see, hey, there's something in there. Maybe you find the structure, or if you are way too fast or riding on your horse, you easily oversee it and just ride over it, and down there is the structure. The same works for cold biomes. I already finished all cold biome variants for the structures, and there's way less plants, but on the surface you see there's a hole and the snow got in there and layered on the floor, just to make it fit for the world generation. Maybe I'm going to change the loot a little bit so it fits to the area you're in. So maybe barrels which also could contain snowballs or ice blocks of the 3 variants. And as we found out, we can now use these suspicious sand and gravel blocks to get even more loot into these dungeons. But you have to use the brush, which has to be crafted with copper and feathers. But I'm very happy. So today's the first day, and yeah, I know it's the first stream, but the first day that the stream was actually useful for playing. The positive side effect is that I can work on my English a little bit, but also for coding and building it was very useful. But yeah, these are the 36 structures. We come with 1.6 for the cold biomes, the same for temperate biomes, and the last one I'm working on right now for the hot biomes. And only the materials, building materials of the structures will change when I'm done with all and I'm building the first structure or converting the first. Not sure if the music is a bit too loud. My headphones, it is loud. Yeah. So, but I'm going to implement all loot blocks, so the barrels, chests, and also the suspicious blocks in a later stream in the future when I'm going to do the stream for all structures. I'm just marking it, so hopefully I don't forget about it. But I'm sure I won't. I'm very happy about this situation right now. Yeah, the dripstone doesn't make that much sense. It's about 8 meters, 5 meters underneath the desert ground, so why should there be enough water to form these blocks? So I'm gonna remove them all. And also on the bottom. I'm not really happy with the bottom, to be honest. It is kind of a temple in the underground, so it should have a better floor than just the stone brick floor, which is used for the walls and the pillars. What looks like a hot bottom floor? Hot biome floor. Maybe diorite and smooth stone. That's too easy. Stone sandstone. No, diorite. So. No, I don't like it. Diorite. Also rather meh. Maybe smooth sandstone, because I'm not using it anywhere. No. Also, no. Calcite. Or just a full sandstone floor. Sandstone. Rather a cut one, which has a more interesting surface. Oh, yeah, it looks the same. Why not? Strip birchwood. Could I work with this? I guess it fits kind of. Let's just try packed mud and mud bricks. Yeah, becoming better. Mud, bricks and packed mud. 3 mask, sand and sandstone. I guess the color is fitting. It's not that it looks like a temple built by a rich people, but it works for me. Yeah, it looks good. Let's see it on daytime. Yeah, that's good. Maybe spread this one a little bit more. And the altar in the middle will also be made of mud bricks. And this block. Yeah. Sadly, there are no mud slabs, packed mud slabs. A little bit more sand on these sides. I'm going to remove the stones. They're not making that much sense right now. Maybe the birch forest button or birch wood button works like a sandstone. I mean a real stone made of sand, or made out of sandstone. So we can keep the feeling of being in a very old and lightly broken down chamber. Also, I'm going to create a new banner for the hot biomes. For every biome variant, I have a banner pattern which is spread all over across all the dungeons to get a little bit of lore for this. So there have been a few kingdoms in the past before the Great War, and they settled in various biomes and spread there, and in the warm biomes they have these chambers, but I need some pattern for it so it fits to the vibe to a hot climate kingdom. I guess these are all of the plants. Yeah. Have you already started to work on the update for 1.5? Have you looked into the code? What Mojang has changed? Because I was thinking about testing it in the 1.21.5 version just to see what part of the data pack works. Only 1%, okay. I could imagine that it will be a lot of work to make a port for the new version. So I'm not really, how do they say naturally, I'm not yearning to work on a new version. There are some features I like and I'm interested to work with, mainly the new blocks. So the grass blocks, the dried grass blocks, which will fit perfectly into the desert biomes. But not for the coding. I guess the coding will be horrible, like the last update from 1.20 to 1.21, or was it 1.19? I'm not sure, but it was horrible. Yeah, that's okay. So now's the question, what should we place here? What would you expect if you are in the desert, crawling down this hole? What decoration can I use? I'm going to need some inspiration for decoration. In a desert. I've never really played in the desert, so I don't have that much imagination of what you could build there, hide there, what the interior should look like, what it should look like in the temple. I know that most players just put a lot of water and plants and whatever in there, like an oasis or a bathhouse. But it's underground and very old. Can I share my screen? Let's see. Yeah, I can. Okay. If we look into a desert temple, there's just nothing of interest. And I don't want the temple to be empty. But maybe a small campsite, like someone already found this place and just went down to get a little bit of a safe area to hide from the sun. But then at night the monsters came and killed him, so a few bones, blood. I'm not sure how many players will pay attention to the details in there and think about the story, about why it is there. And maybe I can create a obsidian pillar in the middle, like for the other structure, but way smaller. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. So a little campsite and obsidian pillar. I already did a large one for this structure, which is halfly buried. Ah, okay, I see. I already used a banner pattern, but I'm not sure if I stick with that. And I'm going to make a tiny one for this structure, just underground for worshipping the gods or whatever lore anyone can imagine. Though worshipping gods is a big part of the data pack, because the gods are the reason why this whole world is destroyed and partially empty. And all these temples are ruins from the old age. So no one's praying to the gods anymore, because they destroyed more than they gave to humanity. So how do we build this tiny pillar? Let's take black stone, polished. Maybe I will delete the arcane node in this dungeon. So it's really just empty and spawners. is a bit too much, a bit too large. But now it's not fitting the surroundings. So the black stone and the stone bricks don't go well with each other. The colors don't fit. So I'm just putting the banner here for saving it for later. A tool for a mummy. Yeah, then this room could be one of the encounter dungeons for level 1 bosses. But I want put the grave, the sarcophag, into the middle of the room. Although it would make sense. Yeah, of course, if you would like. A few years ago, there has been a YouTuber who created mods, and he created a mummy which had a few attacks, so like the boss in this data pack, and he had one special ability where he spawned hundreds of, I guess it's endermite, yeah, hundreds of small endermites, and these endermites were those bugs, those black skinned bugs which followed the player and dealt very little damage, but there were just a dozen or 30 of them, and it took the player some time to defeat them, while the mummy was slowly stumbling towards the player. And now we can just create very tiny models of mobs, so for example spiders and whatever, with the size of 1.1, 0.1. That would be horrifying to land in here, trigger the boss fight, and then having a lot of bugs around you. Yeah, sure, if you want, you can. So let's make the sarcophag. I'm going to remove all the chains. I'm going. Oh, yeah, I know it's that time of the day. I wish you a good appetite. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching and giving me good ideas. Diorite is a cool block, but it's not really fitting at the moment. Maybe I'm going to change it to the bottom material. Let's see how this works. Luckily, we have all types of mud brick walls, mud brick blocks, but it's not diorite. It's way too bright. Yeah, mud bricks it is. Maybe blue torches for those who use the game, use the data pack with shaders. They can turn this whole room into a blue light, so it would get those uncanny feeling if you stand up there. Maybe we can try it. I'm in the desert and it's raining. Time set night. Yeah, let's try. Is it blue? No, because it's the wrong shader. Overworld ray tracing, yeah, that's it. Yeah, and it's blue. So you walk across the desert, you see those hole in the ground and a little bit of blue light shining upwards, and you look down, and these are just 4 torches, 4 of the soul torches. I guess it's not bright enough so no mobs can spawn down there. We can try. Maybe they will spawn down there. I don't know. Huh? And visitor. Hello. Hi. He left so soon. Yeah, there are no mobs spawning. Maybe I'm too near, preventing them from spawning. Yeah. Okay. So 4 torches are enough for the whole area to prevent mob spawning. Yeah, it's lagging when I'm loading and reloading the shader. For other shaders, it's very dark, but it has a very good vibe, even though you can't see that it's blue torches. Let's go back to this shader. Yeah, that's the normal one. I'm kind of curious how the shader looks with the new Direwood temple. I think I've used soul torches, but I'm not sure right now. I'm gonna check quickly. Yeah, I took normal lanterns, sadly. Yeah, and it's very bright when you go in there. Maybe I'll remove a few lanterns, but without shaders it's a nice place, I must say. Doesn't have that uncanny vibe, except of this room where I used both colors. Okay, weird. But the yellow light is way stronger than the blue one. That's the reason why it's not blue when you enter it. And for the arena there's also just lanterns and candles and those bulb lights, frog lights, not bulb lights. Oh, I love ray tracing. It looks so damn good, but my graphics card is heating up very fast if I make this. So we're changing back to this one. It's also pretty. And way better for performance. Yeah. Back to the small dungeons, the small structures. How long are we streaming today? Oh, 2 hours, okay. I think that I'm not going to finish this structure today, because I have to go to bed in an hour to get up early tomorrow. That's the bad thing, the bad side if you start your work at 4 a.m. You have to go to bed very early, stand up very early, but you're done with work at 12 o'clock. That's cool. But standing up isn't cool. I don't like it at all. Even though the the work time is the best. I start at 4 o'clock and I have work, I have something to do for 8 straight hours, so the time passes very fast. Yeah. I think I'm just going to add some pillars on the edges, so I get a little bit of contrast. And if there would be some floors, I have to think. Passage. Yeah. I mean passages. If there is a passage in this direction, or there would be one, then it wouldn't look that good if there is just the same material of the pillar as of the background of the wall. I'm switching it a little bit to this one, and maybe using smooth sandstone for the arch. Yeah, that's better, way better. That soundtrack is kind of sad. Most videos it introduces the end of the video. I guess I'm gonna stick to this and end the stream as soon as the song is done. As soon as the song is over. And just enjoy it. I think that's the perfect ending for today's stream. We haven't done that much, just started working on the structures, the smaller structures. But in the future it will go way faster, just because I don't have to copy and paste everything. I just can start working on them. And there, then we're going to make this tomb for the mummy, creating a grave. Maybe, because this is a larger structure, as you can see, we're making a way down, a hole down with a small staircase, and down here is the chamber room. I don't know. Let's see. I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching, and maybe we'll see us the next time when we'll continue work on this enormous, never-ending project. Have a nice day, evening, whatever. Bye.